I am on the rooftop of the old paper mill at dusk, the wind pushing my hair into my mouth while I scroll through the group chat. The last message from him is still the same thumbs up emoji, 3 days old. I type, delete, type again, then shove the phone into my pocket. The city lights blink on below me like nothing has changed. His name is Dorian, 36. A project manager who can fix anything from a leaking espresso machine to a shattered heart, or so I used to believe. I am 32, an art director with a reputation for bold campaigns and bolder words. When we met 5 years ago at a pop-up gallery under the highway overpass, I told him I would never settle. He laughed, said he would never ask me to. We married anyway, on a cliffside in Big Sur, wind whipping my veil like a surrender flag I refused to admit I carried. For the last year I have called him predictable, dependable, boring. I said it in front of friends at the oyster bar on Pier 12, while he stood at the grill flipping shrimp and pretending not to hear. I said it again last month at the Indie Cinema Courtyard when he brought me a lavender tea instead of the espresso I wanted. I rolled my eyes so hard a stranger asked if I was okay. The moment that broke him happened on the pedestrian bridge over the rail yard. We were walking back from a Saturday food festival, arms full of bao and overpriced kombucha, when I spotted a group of women from my yoga studio. They waved. I waved back, then turned to Dorian and said, loud enough for everyone, I miss being single. I miss not knowing whose bed I will end up in. The kombucha slipped from his hand, glass shattering, purple liquid bleeding between the planks. His eyes went flat, like a phone screen suddenly locked. One of the women gasped. Someone else laughed nervously. I expected Dorian to joke it off the way he always did when I pushed boundaries. Instead, he looked at me as though I were a stranger who had just slapped him. Without a word, he stepped over the broken glass and walked away. The crowd parted. I stood there holding my bao, sauce dripping onto my sneakers. That night, he slept in the guest room. I told myself he was being dramatic. I told myself I was only being honest. I posted a selfie on social media, captioned free spirit, cheap wine. 47 likes. 0 comments from him. By Monday, he had built a wall of silence so thick I could feel it pressing against my ribs. I tried a soft knock. I brought home his favorite chili lime plantain chips and left them on his desk. They went stale. I tried a harder knock. I booked a couple's massage at the boutique spa on the East Riverbank. He texted he had a late meeting. I told myself he was sulking and would get over it. Tuesday, I met my best friend Naya for rooftop yoga at sunrise. She adjusted my Warrior 2 and whispered, "You really said that?" I shrugged. He knows I talk big. Naya exhaled like I had just confessed to kicking puppies. After class, she wrapped her mat and said, "Maybe apologize for real." I laughed. He loves me. He will come around. Wednesday, the silence deepened. I came home to find his suitcase open on the bedroom floor like a mouth mid-scream. Inside lay 3 rolled shirts, a passport, and the small wooden polar bear I had bought him in Oslo. I stood over it, heart hammering. I told myself it was a bluff. Thursday, he left for work early. I sent a voice note. Okay, I get it, I was harsh. Dinner tonight, I will cook. I used the winking emoji. He did not reply. At 7:15 p.m., I sat in the neon glow of a ramen shop alone, chopsticks clicking, watching couples feed each other broth. Friday, I left work early and went to his office lobby, a converted firehouse with red brick and ivy. I waited 43 minutes. He finally appeared carrying a cardboard box of desk plants. His face looked carved from stone. I stepped in front of him. "Dorian, come on, talk to me." He shifted the box to his hip. I have nothing left to say. His voice was quiet, final. I reached for the box. He stepped back. "Please respect my space." I laughed, brittle, "Space, we are married." A coworker passed, eyes flicking between us. Dorian tightened his grip on the box and walked out the automatic doors. I followed him to the rideshare stand. "So what, you are leaving me over one stupid comment?" He opened the car door, placed the box inside, then turned. It was not one comment, it was years of comments. Years of me shrinking so you could feel larger. The driver looked away. I felt heat crawl up my neck. "You are overreacting." He met my gaze, steady. "I am choosing peace." He slid into the back seat. The Prius rolled away, leaving me on the curb with the taste of exhaust and regret. Saturday morning, I woke to an email from the airline flight confirmation. One way, Lisbon. Departure 6:00 p.m. My stomach dropped. I called, straight to voicemail. I drove to the airport, heels clicking across the concrete bridge between parking and terminal. I scanned the departure boards, heart racing like a trapped bird. Gate B12. I ran. I spotted him in line for security, backpack on, eyes forward. "Dorian," my voice cracked. He did not turn. I pushed through the queue, grabbed his arm. "You cannot just leave." He looked at my hand until I released him. I already did. Tears blurred the fluorescent lights. I said I was sorry. He sighed, the kind that empties lungs of hope. "Sorry is not a bandage for a wound you keep cutting." The line moved. He stepped forward. I stood there, shoes squeaking, as he disappeared into the maze of ropes and scanners. That night I sat on the hood of my car in the cell phone lot, watching planes rise like migrating birds. I texted Naya. She replied, "I am sorry, but I warned you." I scrolled through our photos, Dorian and me in Joshua Tree, Dorian and me in Tokyo, Dorian and me in our tiny backyard tent during lockdown. In every picture his arm is around me, anchoring me to the ground I kept claiming was too small. Weeks passed. His profile picture never changed. My messages went undelivered. He had blocked me everywhere. I mailed the polar bear back. It came returned to sender. Mutual friends stopped inviting me to trivia night. The group chat renamed itself Team Dorian. I told myself I did not care. I took up boxing at an outdoor gym under the overpass, punching bags until my knuckles bled. I told the trainer I was working through stress. He nodded, did not ask. One evening I walked the river path alone. The sky bled orange into the water. I saw a couple sitting on a blanket sharing strawberries. She fed him one and laughed. I remembered Dorian slicing mango for me on the balcony last summer, juice running down his wrist, me teasing him for being slow. I had not tasted mango since he left. I started therapy on a rooftop garden downtown, wind rattling the bamboo. The therapist asked what I missed about marriage. I opened my mouth to say companionship, but what came out was the way he looked at me like I was worth staying for. I cried into my sleeves, mascara staining the cotton. She asked what I wanted now. I wanted a time machine. She handed me tissues and the bill. 3 months later, I ran into Nair at the farmer's market. She hesitated, then hugged me. Over coffee at a picnic table among crates of kale, she told me Dorian had started volunteering with Habitat for Humanity in Portugal. She showed me a photo. He stood on a scaffold, arms brown, smile easy. The caption read, "Building something that lasts." I stared until the screen dimmed. Naya said softly, "He seems happy." I nodded, throat thick. Good for him. I walked home past murals and buskers, sun hot on my shoulders. I passed the pedestrian bridge where everything had unraveled. The rail yard below still clanged with metal and time. I stopped in the middle, rested forearms on the railing, and closed my eyes. I pictured Dorian stepping over the glass, walking away, choosing peace. I whispered to the wind, "I am sorry." The wind carried the words toward the Atlantic. Tonight I sit on the same rooftop of the paper mill, city lights winking. My phone shows 0 notifications from the number I memorized but refused to dial. The polar bear sits on the ledge beside me, its tiny paws empty. I trace the wood grain, feeling every splinter I earned. I whisper into the dark, "I missed being single." This time the words taste like rust and sorrow. Somewhere across the ocean, he is building houses, planting gardens, sleeping without my chaos beside him. I am here, 32 and alone, learning the difference between freedom and abandonment, between noise and love.